Anniversary season is upon us in Watcher of Realms, guys. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. We're getting our first taste of what I think will be a string of many, many fun things for the next 6-7 weeks. And this is kicking the whole thing off.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
So if we look over here, we're getting our second ever Lucky Pick Invocation. Now, what is the Lucky Pick Invocation? You may remember this as the Lyra banner or the Choose Your Own Adventure banner. Right around Christmas time during the Frostfall Jamboree, we got a banner where there was a 15x rate up on Lyra and additionally a 15x rate up on an empty portrait. There was like this kind of rift, void, realm thing, and you got to click it and you selected who you'd pair Lyra with. And you know, this was a pretty crazy banner. You couldn't select any limited heroes, any former fusions that were not yet introduced in the normal pool, any ancient exclusive heroes, stuff like that, and you couldn't pick any lords, but you could pick any normal legendary hero in this game that's available from rare summons and divines, and you could choose to pair them with the fantastic Lyra right above me. We're getting the same thing again, but in my opinion, even better. Now, why is that? Well, the reasons are twofold. First off, I love Lyra. I've got an A4 Lyra. I'm hoping to get an A5 Lyra soon. But to be fair, Lyra is a single target mage, which is not the highest in demand thing in Watcher of Realms. And for that reason, she's not super duper valuable to every account, even though she is very strong. You know who is super duper valuable to every account? That is the new legendary hero coming to the game, Nerissa. I already made a guide on her. I'll put it in the top pinned comment of this video and in the description. I highly suggest you go check it out. But Nerissa is answering the question, what are you going to do for me, Moonton? I don't have Pharisee. Well, what are they going to do for you? They're giving you Pharisee 2.0, essentially. In a lot of ways, Nerissa is just strictly better than Pharisee. In a couple other ways, she definitely isn't. So a lot of people saying like it's just a no-brainer. She's the next most amazing, hottest, greatest thing. I think that's off base, but undeniably, she's a supremely strong healer that anyone would be lucky to get their hands on, even if you already have Pharisee. She's got a lot of really strong, really special things in her kit. They're choosing her as the Lyra this banner, and then they're giving the rest of the Lucky Pick Invocation banner the same treatment, the same choose your own adventure treatment. So what is that going to be? In addition to the event's fixed feature hero, Nerissa, you can select another legendary hero, excluding lords, from the Invocation of Spirits pool for a 20x drop rate. So here's another fun way it's better than the Lyra and Choose Your Own Hero banner. That was a 15x. This is a 20x. Obviously, rates are a hot thing right now. You know how I feel. And if you don't, go watch the videos. I talk about it all the time. But that being said, with the 20x, assuming flat rates, Nerissa plus the hero you choose, every time you hit a legendary, right? This doesn't affect your base chance to get a legendary. Every video, every time I talk about this, someone doesn't understand that and they think it's a 20x on the chance to get a legendary. That is incorrect. It's once you get a legendary, we're going to have a rate up that it is Nerissa or that it is whomever you've chosen as your, special featured pairing with Nerissa, choose your own adventure hero. But assuming flattened rates, we should be looking at about a 38% chance every legendary that you're getting Nerissa or the person you selected, right? The hero you selected. Obviously, the hero you select is going to be someone you really want, someone you think is a very strong hero, but additionally one that can actively and immediately help your account. And then the other option will be Nerissa, who is brand new to all of us, and we would all be lucky to get. So again, if you want specifics on Nerissa, go check out my video. She has a single target inspiration, which can be very strong. She has an on-demand cleanse once you stack up these black pearls, which is very cool. She's got this big Pharisee hollow range that she's healing in. She can actually deal a lot of bursty damage. She's kind of like Artemis as a DPS-y healer. I guess also similar a bit to Carnelian in that respect, but this is looking to be like a lot of damage potentially depending on how you build her. But certainly it's going to be a lot of instances of damage. You're talking 30x damage, so very good for anything you need a lot of hits. Styx boss comes to mind right away. And then she has increased damage herself to enemies with shields, so she's really like a top option for Abyss 1, and as we know, what is now coming, soon to be Abyss 2. Take all of that with solid heals that can be a lot stronger, but they start off as solid, definitely worse than Pharisee. If you don't ult with her, they can get a lot stronger. Then combine all that with her becoming the second unit in the game to have non-faction specific AoE damage reduction. So her Siren Song, anyone within that big Fasti Hollow Vortex range, anyone in that range, or directly adjacent to whichever unit got the Abyssal Favor buff. This goes to your allied hero with the highest attack in Nerissa's range. Any one of those people are going to get AoE damage reduction. It starts at 20%, which is 5% worse than Fasti. However, if you go heavy on this banner or you get lucky and you get her A1, it goes up another 10%. That means she has an AoE damage reduction for everyone in range, plus the people adjacent to your ally with the highest attack. They get an AoE damage reduction of 30%. This is stackable with the normal magic and physical damage reductions we see from heroes like Sadie and Diao Chan and Aelin, and this is now stronger than Fasti. Fasti's Sand Aegis passive at max skill ups is a 25% AoE damage reduction. This becomes the strongest in the game. You can also expand that range further because now the ally with the highest attack who gets the Abyssal Favor buff, now it's not directly adjacent tiles. It's a 2-tile radius around that unit. The whole thing is just very strong. There's a lot of other really fun things in this kit. She's a supremely good healer, and she's going to be transformative for so many accounts. Definitely someone to summon for, definitely something to look forward to. When people say, should I wait for the anniversary banners? Or when I make a should you summon and I say, should you go for Hex or wait for the anniversary banners? This is kicking it off. This is the first of the festivities. This is the first of the anniversary banners. So the wait is kind of ending. This is something almost anyone should go in on because yes, Nerissa is awesome, but you also get to choose the other unit to pair with her. Of course, guys, you could pull 10 times and miss on both, but assuming it's about a 38 to 40% chance you're going to get one or the other every legendary, the vast majority of us, without getting unlucky, should hit within 3 to 4 pulls every time, if not a lot sooner than that. 3 to 4 would be slightly unlucky. The final thing to talk about is who to pair her with. You guys will have to wait for a second video I'll release tomorrow where I just break down every single hero I think could be worth pairing with Nerissa on the banner. But I'll tell you right off the bat, you should be targeting whichever non-Lord normal heroes you are missing that are really good, or you have, but you are one away from a really key awakening. So let me give you 2 quick examples, one of each. I'm not missing much when it comes to normal characters on my account, but I'll tell you one really good character I don't have is Eris. So he would be an option, probably a tier below what most people are looking for, but that's a cool option to pick because he is super duper strong and he's one of the few I don't have. Some of you, though, might be missing something like a Silas and you already have Virna, or you're missing Hex, you're missing Twyla, you're missing Magda. There's a whole list, right? We're going to cover it in the video tomorrow. Or you might be someone that already has a unit, but you're one awakening away. So maybe you have Hex, like I just mentioned you didn't have, but now you do have him, and you've got him A2. You're just one away from A3. That's a pretty cool pairing. Or a good example for me is I have Numera, but I have her A0. Getting her A1 would be amazing. Or if I somehow get really lucky on the banner, getting A3 would be amazing-er. So those are the kind of heroes you should be targeting. All in all, I think this is a home run banner. I hope the rates are good on it and they live up to what they should be, because this could be a huge W for the game and something that gets players very happy. I hope it's not a bunch of swings and misses and then it gets people very sad. There you go, guys. It's a big banner, the Lucky Pick Invocation. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Thank you to Mitchell for editing this video. Thank you guys in advance for sharing it with your mother. I've been Fastidious. Subscribe to the channel and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.